Because a lot of people get into the legal system because they think they've committed a mistake. But if you know what can happen to you if you do X, Y, and Z, it's no longer a mistake. It's a choice. And we're here to tell you that the choices that you make, you can be introduced to me, you can be introduced to Ms. Cohn, you can be introduced to Mr. Jones. And trust me when I tell you, it's a little bit different for me than it is for them. Because if you're introduced to them, it could be your life. You could spend the rest of your life in prison. You could do a long time in prison. You can do a lot of different things. With me, I'm going to settle your differences which are civil. So that's the difference between the law. I'm going to try to help you resolve contract issues, employment issues, child support issues, family law types of things, probate issues. Those are the difference. But criminal is criminal. And what's really interesting about criminal law is it can change, but it's pretty straightforward. You break the law, you will pay a consequence. It's simple. So Mr. Jones can tell you about what it means to be on the side of criminal defense. Argue with. So they come out and talk to your family members, your friends, anybody who wants to get information about whether or not you committed a crime. So from that perspective, I want to let Mr. Jones talk to you a little bit about criminal defense and the things that you have to look at when you consider whether or not you really want to commit a crime.
All right, my name is A.C. Jones. Before we get started, there's just a few of us in here. And Toby, and you said you want to be an attorney when you go to college, right? Be an attorney. And your name, sir? Deshaun. How you doing? And your name? James. James. And what do you want to be? An entrepreneur. You want to own a business. And perhaps your business may include working with Deshaun. Make sure his contract's going on, and Toby's gonna make sure he keeps his clients and stuff out of trouble. And Mr. Maybe, yeah? What do you want to be?
Major in business and stuff.
Major in business and stuff. Okay, so my confidence now is that I'm talking to people that wind up being my clients. So what I'm going to talk to you about are things that you're going to tell your friend. This one, a beard like mine. Mr. B. I got a cousin named Demetrius. Mr. B, what do you want to be? A nutritionist. Okay. So it looks like everybody's talking about going to college. Everybody's talking about being successful. In that, so when we talk about criminal law, what we're talking about, like Ms. Strickland said, there are two different kinds of law. One law basically affects money, it affects certain rights of property, things like that. The other one affects what's going to happen to the rest of your life. Are you going to be home, or are you going to be somewhere else? So the things we're talking about are things you need to consider as you're telling your friends, your family members, what kind of things to look out for. Some of those things are simple, things that will put you in a position of where your friends one day may have to talk to somebody like me or somebody like Ms. Cohn to try to help them out of trouble. A lot of these things are very simple. Let me give you an idea, an adage. An adage basically is like a story. Have you heard that one about if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck? What is it, Toby? Deshaun. Have you heard if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it might be a duck? You heard that? Let me give you something different. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, looks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it may not be a duck. But whatever it is, it needs to be careful during duck season. Right now, for young black men, it's duck season. And a lot of decisions that are made about you are going to be made about the way you look. about the way you carry yourself. Now, I know now that Deshaun wants to be a football player. I know now that Toby wants to be a lawyer. I know Demetrius wants to be a nutritionist. But if I'm walking down the street and I am society, I'm just the government, I don't think about those things. I'm thinking that you want to rob me, you want to take my car. I'm thinking these negative things. So what you have to do is you have to change society's thinking. That keeps you out of the system, it keeps your friends out of the system. Surround yourselves with people that want to do what you want to do, want to be what you want to be. Now, one of the things you need to think about is, like Mr. Strickland was talking about, there's a difference between decisions, consequences of those decisions, mistakes, and choices. There's certain kind of choices that you have to make to keep you on track. To keep you on track to being a lawyer, to keep you on track to being a football player, to keep you on track of these things. Those decisions are who you're going to hang out with and who you're not going to hang out with. You know, if there are people that are walking around that have a target on their back that says, "Mr. Officer, arrest me, check me out to see if I'm a gang member," would you want to be around that person, James? No. But that person, he looks different because he's going to attract somebody's attention. He's going to wind up in the system. And it may be just a matter of his pants sagging down. It may be something similar to that. So these decisions, if you want to continue to be what it is you plan on being, is staying out of the system, because you can get into the system accidentally. That's what we talk about ducks. If it looks like a duck or is hanging around a duck and the duck sees it, it's going to get shot. So the decisions you need to make to keep you on track and keep you out of that system are decisions you're making now. Decisions you're making right now. Sometimes they're simple decisions. Last month, I did a trial, and my client, the one I was defending, not much older than you are, he's 22 years old, not much older than you are. And in about 4 months from now, he's going to be going to prison, 12 years. And one of the things that the district attorney used were contacts that he made when he was a teenager. Police officers testified that when he was a teenager, he hung around these kids, this gang, he had this tattoo on him, there was a gang tattoo, all that stuff came out, and these were decisions that he made when he was 16, 17 years old. He made a decision to have a tattoo that had his gang written across his chest. That decision helped put him away in prison. So start making decisions now to continue to go on track to where you want to be, the things you want to do. Become allergic to knuckleheads, and I guarantee you'll realize your dreams. You won't have to worry about me.
I think you covered it. Only thing I ever cover is, if we want to talk about crime, we'll talk about, that's my extent. Okay. You did a wonderful job on, talking to them. I'm glad you're here. But if you, like you said, you gotta watch out who you're hanging with, who you're associating with. If it's a gang member, you gotta run. Don't be around gang members. Even if it's a relative, you've got to stay clear. Because no matter what crime you commit as a teen, even if you're 15 or 14, the district attorney is going to bring it up. They're going to tell the judge everything. You come out and you say, "Oh, my record's closed." The district attorney can get into your record. They do it every day. I see it every day. And I defend my clients to the best of my ability. I have 7 trials coming up. And I looked at their records because the DA has given it to me. And it's really disconcerting to try to defend somebody when you think that they're innocent, or maybe they didn't commit the charge, or it's not as serious as that they're prosecuting them. So the job that we do is very serious, and we really look at our clients, and we do the best we can for our clients. But if our clients, because they messed up as a teen, it will affect you as an adult. And it doesn't matter how old you are. So please be careful who you associate with.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that at your age, depending on the crime that you commit, you can actually be tried as an adult. And if you're tried as an adult, you get pretty much the same sentences as any adult can. So at 16, 17 years old, you can spend 40 years in prison. It can happen. So you have to really give consideration to the actions that you take. You know, mistakes, they're one thing. But when you make a decision to go out and take someone's life, or to go out and deal drugs, or to go out and steal, what you have to understand is that there are consequences to those actions, and the consequences can be extremely severe. These days, there are what's called enhancements. The DA can decide that you did one thing and call it 8 or 9 different things, and charge you for each one of those. And if they do that, the years just keep piling up if you get convicted. So these are the people you go to make sure that that doesn't happen. I want to switch gears just for a quick minute, because I think the other thing is that you have to understand is that there can also be civil penalties for criminal actions. So you can go to somebody's house and you can steal something, or you can break something or whatever, and you can get charged for that criminally. But you can also be sued civilly if you don't return the property, or if you've taken something that doesn't belong to you, damaged property. So that means not only can you do time, but you also can end up having to pay money. And the responsibility, because you're a minor, may not fall on you, it may fall on your parents. And, you know, I'm a single mom. Cindy's a single mom. Anything our children did fell on us only. And if you have single parents, that's the hardest thing in the world to have to put on your parent, is now you have to pay a fine because you got into a fight at a store and hit a security guard and somebody prosecuted you, and the DA wants their money back. The courts want their money back because that's what they can do. They can go in and do all kinds of things that you probably don't think about on a day-to-day basis. But not only can it affect you, but it can affect whoever is in your family. And I don't think any of us want that. I mean, especially if our parents are working hard and they're trying to give us what they can. You don't want your families to feel like now they've got to pay for your mistakes too. And they're really not mistakes, your choices.
I got a perfect example of what she's talking about, how decisions that you make as young men can affect your families. I have 3 sons. They're all grown and in college or in the military now, but my oldest son, when he was 16, he was riding in a car with his buddy. Now his buddy was on his way to work. He borrowed his mom's car. His mom gave him permission to drive her car. But before he went to work, he and my son decided they were going to stop by this party. His buddy worked at Pizza Hut, worked at night, but they were going to stop by this party. So they stopped by the party, and they drank some alcohol. They had some beers. My son was a passenger. He had him some beers, and believe me, he and I dealt with that afterward. But his buddy had some beers too, and drove his mother's car. And in driving his mother's car, he got into an accident. And the other person in the car lost a leg, had to have a leg amputated. The car that my son's buddy hit, that other driver had to have the leg amputated because it was crushed. It was crushed underneath the dashboard. It was a bad accident. Their leg was crushed and had it cut off. Now, they fixed the cars, all this kind of stuff. This person learned to walk with a leg, but my friend's parents lost their home. For every dollar they make from now on, the first 50 cents of it is going to go to this person who lost their leg. Because their son made a decision, not an accident, like Ms. Strickland said, made a decision to drink and drive, and now mom and dad, all the work they've done to make a home for the family, gone. They don't have that home anymore. When they work now to get their paycheck, the court reaches in and gets that money first and says, now you can have the rest of it. So the decisions you make don't just affect you, they affect, it's like a spider web. They affect people around you, people that you love, people that you never considered that it would affect, but it will. Okay?
So true. And I can go a step farther with that story, because I know of a story, and you may know about it, about a young man who decided he just didn't want to live anymore. He was through. He had had enough. He was suspended from driving because he had already driven drunk. And now the situation is this. He decided he was going to kill himself, drove through a wall, a brick wall behind the house, and into the kitchen. And he killed someone in that house who was just in the kitchen getting a drink of water. That's all she wanted, was a drink of water. She's dead. Her family's in pain. His family's in pain because now they know that something that their son did killed someone. Someone innocent, had nothing to do with anything. He really wasn't trying to hurt anyone else. That really wasn't his intent. But it doesn't matter, because not only is he being tried criminally for his actions, but his family and he's only 19 now, is being sued civilly for that. The damages, I don't know, anybody got an idea what a human life is worth? Anybody? $100? $1 million? $10 million? But there is a jury, a group of people who will decide a fate regarding the penalty to be paid by this family for a really poor decision that their son made. It could be $10 million. Guarantee these people probably don't have $10 million, but for the rest of their lives, they will be paying for this, not only financially, but emotionally. Because I can tell you, the mother is devastated. And I'm not talking about the mother of the lady who died, I'm talking about the mother of the son. She is devastated because she knows that her son, for the rest of his life, is going to carry with him the fact that he killed someone, whether he did it intentionally or not. And that's a lot of weight to bear. Think about it. I mean, if you just think about if you've done something that you know is wrong. You may have went to the store and stole something, or you may have, whatever. You may have badmouthed somebody, you may have disrespected your mother, you feel bad about that. But how bad would you feel if you took someone's life that you cannot give back and know that your family has to pay for that for the rest of their lives, and so do you? That can't be a good feeling. It just cannot be a good feeling. So, I mean, that's the very, very serious side of what the law is all about, both criminally and civilly. But there are some other things that you all can do to make sure that you just don't get into trouble. When we say stay in school, we're not joking. We don't mean, just go to school when you get ready. There are truancy laws that talk about when you're supposed to be in school and how long you're supposed to be there. You can be reported truant. You can be reported chronic truant. Those are things you don't want on your record if you want to be a nutritionist, if you want to be a lawyer. You don't want to be in trouble all the time. There's no point in it. And trust me when I tell you, just go to school because you're going to learn something. You'll learn something. It's worth it. It's always worth it. To be an attorney, you have to be in school. You have to go to a law school after you get a degree. Now, there are some law schools where they say, you don't have to have a degree, and that's fine. As long as you do what you need to do to get enough education to do what it is you want to do. How much do you know about nutrition, sweetheart? Okay, are you studying it? Are you have access to the internet? You ever go on the internet and just look up information about nutrition? Okay. Do you look up information about what you need to go to school to be a nutritionist? Why not? And I'm not picking on you. We're so small. I mean. Okay, but isn't this your life stream? Is it important to you? Your life's dream is to be an attorney today? How long have you known you wanted to be an attorney?
I told my dad, he was in a case, and he said one day I'm going to be able to defend someone, but his lawyer did to him, and his lawyer saved his life. So he said one day I should be a lawyer or something around me.
Well, that's great. And let me tell you, same thing. That was me. I knew what I wanted to do. I've always known. So what I did was I geared myself towards that. We've all geared ourselves towards that. Education is what will keep you on the right track. When Mr. Jones was talking earlier about the people you hang out with, you may not even realize some of the things that they may be into, but that can affect you. That can affect your education. That can affect where you go in your life. We all want to be winners. That's what we said. That's what we believe. That's what we are. But in order to be a winner, you have to chart a path. And your path can't be to be in trouble all the time, because you can't win like that. I went to school with people who are still in jail today. They were 15 years old when they went to jail. They got out, and all they knew was jail, so they went back. I know someone I was in second grade with. He's in jail right now. He will get out in the year 2013. That's not that long, except when I found out, it was 2005. He's never had kids. He's never gone anywhere. He's never done anything, because that's where he's been his entire life. That was a choice he made. And I don't know, I want all of you to think about something as you leave here today, if nothing else. How many of you like being told what to do? You like being told what to do? Anybody? Come on, it's okay, I don't bite. Do you like being told what to do?
Absolutely not.
Okay. You like being told what to do?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
Mostly in the future,
Huh?
if it ends up helping me in the future.
Okay. That's good. If it ends up helping. And that's that forward thinking that you all want to do. But think about this. If you go to jail, if you go to prison, every day that you are there, someone will tell you what to do. If you deviate from that, you can get hurt. You can get confinement where you can't see anybody. You will get told every day of your life what to do, and within certain constraints. It's not a pretty lifestyle. It's not someplace you want to be. So stay out of the way of it. Just plainly stay out of the way of it. As far as the civil aspect of the law, I'm just the person that I go out and sue people. I go out and sue people for money. I go out and sue people to stop them from doing something or to make them do something. Okay? I may be one of those people that if your family is losing their house, they come to me and say, I want you to stop the banks from taking my house. That's what I do. You got hurt in a car accident. You come to me and you say, you know what? I'm hurt. What do I do? I'll tell you what to do, and then I will prosecute your case. The standards are way different in civil than they are in criminal, but I'm here to protect your rights in a different way. Okay, so what we want you to think about is the path that you take, no matter what it is. For as much as I love my job, and I just want to let you guys know so you'll understand from my perspective what it means to me, I charge $300 an hour for what I do. And I'm cheap. Because you can go to LA and find attorneys who charge $600 and $700 an hour for what they do. If you're a patent attorney or something like a entertainment attorney, you charge $1,000 an hour. And they pay it, of course. But what I'm here to tell you is, unless you need my help in drafting a contract or protecting some right, stay away from the law. If you can possibly help it, just stay away from it. Avoid it at all costs. If that means that you've got to stop hanging around certain people, when it's all said and done, you guys are the ones who pay the price. You pay the price just for being there. You can be an accessory to a crime. And I'm sure you guys watch TV enough to know what that means. That means you assisted in it, even if you didn't believe that you did. So we just want you guys to go on the right path and do the right thing. So that's what we're here to do. You guys want to ask us any questions?